Hi Divine Feminine, welcome to my channel. It's me, Gorgeous Gold. I'm coming on to do our weekly energy update. I do want to take a moment and just say thank you to all of you guys that have been continuously supporting me, and to my new people, please subscribe, share these videos, comment. I love to hear your stories. I love to hear feedback. To book a personal reading or any spiritual service for that matter, please check down below in the description box for my email. And alright, that's going to be my introduction. So I had actually already started recording the reading, but then I got interrupted, and so I've already laid out the cards, but I will get clarification cards on camera. But we're going to do our blessing and everything as normal. So I want to ask the universe to protect us all, place a bubble around us, fill that bubble with bright white light, 3 golden rings, and violet flames. May it shine so bright that nothing negative may ever attach. So the first 2 cards that jumped out of the deck were the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune. And so the energy that I'm channeling from these cards is that we're in the space of beginning a new cycle. And a lot of you guys have felt that, because right before a brand new beginning, you know, we have that shitty end and all those things that are coming up. It's like we have that final mass purge. So we're stepping out of the energy of the final mass purge, and we are moving into a cycle now where we will be in our Emperor energy. And so what that is going to look like is this is a cycle where you're going to be setting clear boundaries, really speaking your truth, really standing in your truth, and honoring who you know to yourself to be at your core. You've spent a lot of your life, you know, being controlled by others or allowing others' wants and needs to be what governs your life and what allows you to move in certain directions. And that's crazy, Divine Feminine. I feel like I talk about this so much in our videos, but that's the energy that comes up. Now you are formulating strategies, because the 7 of Swords came out. And normally, you know, this, you can read this in any way. It's just based on the reading. But the way I'm reading it is that we've learned that you have to move in life where the saying that's from the Bible, never let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. And it's not to say that you're manipulative to people or you're doing anything to cause harm, but you are learning that in order for you to put yourself first, sometimes you're going to have to keep things to yourself. Sometimes you're going to have to walk away from things that you thought were going to fulfill you, but ultimately they don't. And so this is about you being brave enough to be honest with, if no one else, yourself. And really being brave enough to chase the dreams and the wishes and the wants that you have and what you're trying to accomplish in your life, and trusting and knowing that you're being supported upon this strategy. This is not something that you're just going to be thrown into and have to figure out, how do I want to do this? What is the best way for me to build on this? None of that. And so we have the 4 of Wands right here. And the 4 of Wands is saying, you're headed in a direction of your dream life. And the only reason that this is able to come into your life at this present moment was because you decided to finally walk away and close out cycles that you realized ultimately now no longer served you. And so all those places where you were still playing it small or still trying to keep that role going that you filled before for those people, or those expectations you placed upon your own body, you're now realizing that the only way for you to get out of that is for you to finally honor who you are at your core. And you have to move in silence sometimes when you do that. And the 4 of Wands is like, because of that, the center focus, like all you are focused on throughout this reading, is going to be your happiness. And this week, I feel like you're having a lot of reasons to celebrate, because the 3 of Cups is the outcome for our week. So this week, we're going to be hanging with the girls, hanging with the friends, doing whatever feels good for us. If that's you spending time by yourself and just drinking wine or smoking a J, like whatever you choose to do for your happiness, for your celebrations, that's what you're going to be doing this week. This week ultimately is a life-changing and celebratory week. It feels so fun and lighthearted, like you're just ready to play. And I love that this card is what came out, because everybody wants to celebrate. Everybody wants to do anything or do new things. And the reason that you are able to celebrate is because you're living your life like it's golden. That Jill Scott song, The Fool. You're taking leaps of faith, and you're ready to just honestly start living more authentically to yourself. You're ready to put yourself out there and trust and know that nothing that is in alignment with you will be released. You know, all that is released and things that we lose, those were things that were never going to be in alignment with us, or at least they're not in alignment with us in this present moment. Anything could happen in the future, but in this present moment, you've got to let go of certain things, certain relationships, certain mindsets, certain things that you built up to keep you sturdy throughout that past cycle, so that you're able to really stand firm and sit on your throne in this cycle. Really being able to be the emperor and know that to set boundaries for yourself is the highest form of love that you can give to anyone, because you should always give yourself the most love, and then everyone else outside of you gets that excess love, that overflow. You know, but you want to make sure that your cup is running over for yourself. And the way that you're going to do that in this next cycle that you're just beginning is to be the emperor. If you don't want to do it, you're just not going to do it. It feels like you're learning, finally, all of us are learning, saying no is a complete sentence. Like, no is a complete sentence. You don't need to explain anything else. You don't need to go through, well, this is why I'm saying no, or this is why I'm saying no. Like, no, what you need to do is focus on you and make sure that you're honoring everything that you feel good, because that's what you're manifesting and that's what you're creating. And this week, you're celebrating, and there you have a lot to celebrate. I feel like this energy feels so fucking empowering and like beautiful, just like, I don't know, it's wonderful energy to be in. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Damn, that card flipped out quick. Okay. There's a lot of pentacles showing up in this reading. So that means earthly, like there's a lot of movement that you're able to actually see. You know, because we see all that movement. It's like, ooh, I'm actually going to take that. I see why you showed up like that. The song I heard as soon as I pulled the Hermit and the Eight of Swords for the to clarify the Three of Cups is, I'm coming out, do, I want the world to know. Like, that's what I heard. You're stepping out. You've been in the hermit mode. I wasn't reading reversals, but this card flipped out in reverse, and I'm like, makes sense. You're freeing yourself up from sitting in this hermit mode, really just being by yourself, maybe not hanging out with your friends, maybe not talking on the phone or answering questions, because you honestly have been going through so much stuff. It's like, I don't even want to celebrate. I don't want to be around these people, because then, you know, you didn't want to be the Debbie Downer friend, because I feel like some of you guys are like, there's no point in me going around anyone at this time, because I'm not in my highest vibration. I don't feel myself, and so I'm not going to go put that pressure or that energy on someone else. I want to just make sure that I'm good and that I'm taken care of. So then we got the Seven of Wands with the Queen of Swords, or the Ten of Swords. I said Queen of Swords, sorry. You are finally in a cycle where you're going to defend yourself. This is all about self-love, self-care, self-motivation, just self. This is beautiful. It really is. So the cycle that you were beginning, we had the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Those are good energies to come out to me in this kind of reading, because what it is saying is that you're learning boundaries, and you're learning that you don't owe anyone explanations. You don't need to explain yourself to this and that person, or explain certain decisions that you've decided to make. You've done enough explaining for your life, and it hasn't felt good, because our journeys and our stories are really not meant for anyone else in the world to understand. They are our journeys and they are our stories. And so, yeah, we're going to make mistakes. Yes, sometimes we're going to fuck up. We're going to do stuff that we regret or stuff that we wish we could take back. But at the end of the day, it's all lessons. There's no mistakes if you utilize it for what it was meant for, a lesson. And so you take your power back from certain situations when you release that restriction of guilt, or release that restriction of feeling like, oh, I need to overly explain this, or if I say no to this person, I need to explain to them why I'm saying no so that they don't think I'm mean. It's like this cycle that you're beginning, you're now learning that it's okay for you to put yourself first, and you don't have to explain that to anyone, because honestly, if you're having to explain that to someone, they're probably not meant to be in your life anyways, because if they don't respect your boundaries or respect that you're loving yourself enough to be comfortable with saying no, then those aren't energies that you want around you. And so that's something I have to tell you, because you're literally already doing it. You're ending a cycle of the constant loops of worrying about what society is going to say, or what your mom is going to say, or what your dad is going to say, or what this person might say, or what your husband or your wife or whatever might say. It's like you've had everybody's hand on your body for the past for some of you 15 years, 10 years, 20 years. Others of you guys, it's been your whole life. You could be in your 40s and you're just now realizing, like, my whole life you guys have had your hands on me, constantly telling me which way to go, or making me feel like me making myself putting myself first is a curse, or I don't even know. It's like they've made you feel like, well, they didn't make you, but their actions made you interpret it, or created a perception around you that for you to say no, or for you to put yourself first, you're living life selfishly. Being selfish is not a bad thing. Saying no is not a bad thing. And so that is what this new cycle consists of. You can say yes when it is yes. When it's from your heart center, you say yes. But when it isn't, no. And you don't have to. If you want to explain, you can, but why? You're cutting through the bullshit. The Page of Swords is like, you're speaking your truth. You're spreading messages that are your truth. And I honestly see somebody might be making an announcement. Maybe you've been feeling someone. You're going to go ahead and speak up, because the way I'm looking is like, you've been looking at someone, this Four of Wands, like maybe the way the cards are laid out. It's like some of you guys have been looking in this area. You've maybe wanted to step to someone, and you've been scared to shoot your shot. But now you're like, what do I have to lose? Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and shoot my shot. The worst that can happen is I get rejected, and I know and trust that whatever is not for me, even though it may hurt in the moment, I will attract something that is greater than I could ever even envision. And so you're really being honest and truthful right now, and just most importantly, like I said, if you're not honest with anyone else, you're at least being honest with yourself. You're speaking the truth to yourself. You don't always have to share what you feel with everyone else. But at the end of the day, you need to share and know your own truth within, and let everything else work out in the way that it's supposed to. Let everyone else think what they need to think, or feel what they need to feel. But the truth of the matter is, you're going to get yours. You're like the Knight of Pentacles. I'm ready to move into an energy of accepting my life. And again, guys, this isn't in a low vibrational way of like, I'm going to step on who's ever head to get to the top, because that's what I need to do. Like, it's not about any of that. What I'm saying you're going to get yours is like, you've been giving so much of yourself that you've never really taken the time to give to self. So now you are going to prioritize putting self first. Now you're in a space of prioritizing that I need to do what makes me happy first, and then I'm able to give to everyone else. Because honestly, if you're just giving to give because you feel like you have to, it's not from a heart-centered place. And then you're feeling uncomfortable, and then you build resentment towards yourself and towards others, and then you're sitting there and you're depressed, and then you look over your life and you're like, wow, all I've ever done my whole life is let everyone else determine what it is that I'm going to do with my whole life. And at the end of the day, it took you to remove those glasses and to remove the, oh, well, I need to be able to navigate this way. I need to make this person happy. If I say no to this person, they're going to be upset. They might not like me anymore. What happens if I say, like, all of that? You put so much thought into every little decision that you've made in your life, and now you're moving to living from a heart-centered space. That's why the Fool is clarified by the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. You are taking charge of your physical reality, and because of that, you're building a legacy that you, when you look back on this time, 4 to 5 years from now, the collective that I'm channeling for, your life is going to look completely different in a brand new and exciting way. Do you know why it will be so exciting and feel so brand new? Because in the past, you have been making sure everyone else was pleasantly happy and taken care of and supported and just their cups are full. But in the long run, all you've done was taken from yourself to make sure that you could do those things for other people. And at the end of the day, it's, even though it feels good to help people, it feels better when you do it because you want to, not because you feel like you have to. And so now you're in a space of taking leaps of faith that are going to feel good for you and your physical reality, and manifesting and creating and building and exploring things that are going to bring you happiness and fulfillment. And like I said, some of you guys may have had your eye on someone, and it's like this week you finally get that courage to speak up and to accept an offer or get an offer or give an offer. Something to do with really just popping out of the shell. It feels like, you know, those little the Jack in the Boxes. That's what I feel like. Like you've been stuck in a box, and now you've been turning and turning and turning and turning and turning, and now you're about to fucking pop. Like, I'm here, bitches. Like, just out of the box and excited about it, and just, I don't know, okay with life, feeling abundant, feeling beautiful, feeling like you have every reason in the world to get out and celebrate. This reading is so fucking empowering. Like, that's literally the only thing I can say is like empowerment. It's beautiful. So, I'm supposed to use these. I had the Ascended Masters out, but I am not called to those now. What oracle should I use? I'm going to give the Twin Tarot Oracle a chance. So, what is the energy for my Divine Feminine for this week? Give me clear messages. Some of y'all are finally ready to let go of certain people, certain things. So, we got the Justice. Okay. And then, is there anything else that wants to come out? Okay, see? So we have the Justice card. Let's see what that's about. The light side. So, in matters of justice, I remain a sleuth, forever searching for the truth. Wisdom, truth, fairness, balance, and honesty. This card depicts I literally have never known how to say her name. Maya or whatever. Sorry guys, no disrespect. The Egyptian goddess of wisdom. Her feather symbolizes universal justice, said to be inherently known to us all. In ancient Egypt, it was believed that the goodness of each deceased's life was assessed by weighing the heart, which is the soul, against this feather. Only those for whom the scales remained balanced proceeded to the heavenly afterworld. In choosing this Justice card, you are being commended for your essential goodness and desire to do what is right. This is demonstrated in your ability to see and evaluate both sides of situations, make fair assessments, and just decisions. You also seem able to realistically reflect upon and take responsibility for your life, past, present, and future, rather than placing blame elsewhere. This Justice card suggests that now is a time when you are most likely to reap as you sow. Be justly rewarded in those areas of your life in which your positive areas are concentrated. If you are involved in any legal matter, the outcome should be favorable for you. You are encouraged to continue living your true life in a true and virtuous way. Always balance words with actions and your needs with the needs of other people, never forgetting that yours are as important as theirs. Wow. That card definitely summed it up perfectly. So we have the Hanging one, and this is the light side too. So this is immobility, surrender, illumination, acceptance, and sacrifice. Suspended in time, I surrender to non-action, a sacrifice I make to gain illumination. At first glance, you might think that the character in this card is suffering severely, having been forced into an uncomfortable hanging position. But the man's expression is actually one of serenity, if not ecstasy. At the more mundane level, you may have chosen this card because there is a lack of movement in your life right now. Perhaps you are waiting upon decisions of others, decisions that could have a profoundly positive influence on a major aspect of your life. Or your immobilization could be because you are still contemplating what your next move should be in relation to an important matter. In either case, the Hanging One encourages you to remain relaxed, patient, and trusting that the right answer will come at the right time. View this period of non-action as a gift from the universe during which new insights may be revealed, questions and uncertainties illuminated, then decision-making becomes clear and easy. At the more profound level, it may be that you are presently experiencing insightful spiritual revelations, viewing your life from a new perspective, revising your priorities and motivators. If so, the Hanging One encourages you to heed the wisdom of Joseph Campbell and follow your bliss. At the same time, understanding certain compromises, even sacrifices, will probably be necessary if you do, but they will be worth it. Wow, those two cards definitely summed up the entire reading. Alright, Divine Feminine, I love you guys. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe, share, comment. Namaste. Thank you.